Good evening, everybody. Today we have a special treat, right? I love what I. Oh, what happened? Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me?
We can see your picture, but we cannot see you live.
You cannot see me live? Okay. It's okay. I'm in pajama right now, so good to see me live. Okay. Minh, for those who doesn't know him, right? He's one of the best speakers that we have. He's a very genuine teammate that you can have in the team. He's like a brother to everybody. When he first came into the business, he was young, but he would say what he mean, what he say. So he one of his strengths that he know how to get everybody together. So he's the ability to bond everybody, and the ability to have everybody listen, and then the ability to actually communicate very, very well. And the most important I'm excited about him is actually that he have a very big heart. For those who doesn't know him, he genuinely help people. He's one of the, you might look at him very, very tough sometimes on the stage, but if you get to know him, you love him as a person and also as a leader. I'd like him to share what he shared in Lexington last Saturday. It was just amazing to see how he demonstrated. I still remember that he came in purely because he want to know about financial services. I think he just want to learn. But because of the system, he stayed, and then later on he saw the vision, and then he's do well. He's one of the faster one that we have actually in the hierarchy in terms of how to build the hierarchy. But right now I'm very, very excited. I think that after 5 or 6 years, he understands this a little bit better. And also I love what I saw on last Saturday. I'm excited about what he see this business in a deeper level right now. So for that, we appreciate our brother, right? He's like my son to me, in the business. But he's a good friend and good teammate that you have, and also a good leader. We are very blessed to have him in hierarchy. So let's hear from you, Minh. Thank you.
Yes. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Let me mute.
Yeah.
No.
I think there's a lot of background noise. So I don't know if everybody knows how to mute their phone. So if they can just click mute on their screen on the lower left corner, it's a mute. There's a mute sign next to the video sign. Yeah. Now it's much better.
Let me mute them.
Yeah, you know what? We have the power to shut them up and mute them off.
I know. Okay, go ahead, Minh.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you. First of all, thank you for Penny for the opportunity. And I think that, what I saw, and I start putting things together, and I'm excited about these slides, and it's only about 10 slides. And hopefully that, you can see what I see. And I think it is important for you to see this platform, because in the past, when we're talking about the timing, a lot of us are talking about baby boomers and baby boomers and baby boomers. And some of you guys might know that my background, I'm in the hospital, and that's very true. In the past, when I work in the hospital, I see that everything we do is catered toward the baby boomers market. And I give a quick background. In the hospital before, when I was a pharmacist, and about almost 20 years ago, when I applied for pharmacy school, in the whole state of California, there's only 3 pharmacy schools. And the whole United States at the time that I applied and graduated, there was only 76 pharmacy schools. But today, fast forward, we have about 16 pharmacy schools, and we have over a couple hundred pharmacy schools in the whole United States. And this is true for the health industry. And it's not only true for pharmacy school, it's true for PT school, it's true for PA school, nursing school, medical school, dental school, all kind of stuff. The reason that the health industry is exploding is because of they cater to the baby boomers. And just to give you a quick background of the baby boomers. The baby boomers are the people who born between the age of 1946 to 1965. And this is a picture that you see that's called the silent group and the boomer group and the Generation X and the millennials. So as I analyze and understanding this, and I remember back in the day that I would say about 3 years ago, when John Pham was talking about the timing, and he gave the history of our WFG company, beside the thing that I just talked to you about, the health industry. He said that it takes a company almost 30 years going from 0 commission to about 300 million commissions in about year 2013 and 2014. But then after that, from 2013 to 2017, we jumped to over 700 million in commissions. And all of that is due to the timing and the uses of baby boomers. So let's just do a quick history review of the baby boomers. The first industry that get the explosive growth is a baby food industry. After the World War II, after 1946, when a soldier comes home, they saw the wife, they got happy, every woman could have a baby, had 4 of them on average. And because of that, we have a big boomer of the baby population. So the industry that got impacted the most was the baby food industry. When the baby become 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, the toy and the kid clothing industry become very explosive in the next few years. And then after that, when the kid grow up to be 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, so many of them do not want to sit and eat in one place properly, and they want to eat fast and run fast and go play fast. And because of that, the fast food industry become explosive, such as McDonald's, Burger Kings, and all of the other fast food industry comes about. And at the same time, you follow this one group of people when they turn 18, 19, and 20. They bought their first car. The first car was causing the explosive in the Michigans, and that's how the car industry, Ford Motors, and all of those stuff exploding. When this baby boomers grow to become 30, 35, and 40, they bought the first home. And that's what we saw in the 80s and the 90s, and we saw the home exploding. So at the same time, fast forward to our WFG specifically, our company grew from 300 million to about 700 million in a short 3-4 years. It's not by chance, but it's because by the demands of this retiree. And when they retired, they need a lot of retirement planning, they need insurance services, and they need investment saving and all of that stuff. And that's how our company grow. And we happen to be in the right time, the right place. So that was important for us to understand. And then, you know, right now we are on track for approaching over $1 billion commission payout. And that is a big, big deal, you guys. But then when I actually learning from all of this stuff, and I mean, every aspect of every avenues of everything in the country, talking about baby boomers and the growth of it, but they oversight and they did not see something even bigger than that. So when I saw this thing and when I analyze these things, I get excited. And I wanted to share that with you. And yesterday and the other day when Penny was asking me to go up there and share about the real estate because of my background investment. But quite honestly, so I told her, you know what? I'm actually more excited at talking about the timing than real estate. And you guys know, if you heard my real estate talk, I'm pretty passionate about that stuff because before WFG, real estate was my things. And I do the in and out, and I kind of very proud about it because I don't do it from the perspective of a buying and an agent. I do it as a perspective of an investor. And because of that, I kind of learned the market pretty well. But right now I'm getting excited and I'm learning about these things. And this picture I put up here for you guys, you see the boomers of 76 million. And the next biggest group is a Generation X. I'm a Generation X. I was born in between 1965 to 1981. And after that, there's a millennials of 62 million. And a lot of the discussion is around the baby boomers. But then you have to understand that the Generation X and the millennials have needs as well. So you got to see the big pictures, and we're going to go from there, okay? So slide number 2. You got to look at the market segment by age. And I get excited over this one. This picture is a simple picture, but do you analyze it? Do you understand why that it is? If you see these things, the United States population is at 328 million. So right now, we know that the United States population is roughly 330 million. Let's compare this a little for perspective for you guys. You guys know Canada, and you guys saw how big Roger Dhaliwal got, right? In a short 9 years. And he only do one segment of the market, which is an Indian. And I believe that Penny told me that the one segment of the Indian market is not only just Indian, but Punjabi Indian, which is a subset of the Indian. And within the 9 years, he go from $0 to $5 million in for his own commissions. And that the whole Canada population is roughly about 1/10 of the United States population, and that's 30 million population. If you were to compare Canada to the state of California alone, state of California has over 30 million population. And if you were to compare the GDP of the California, if you compare California as a country to the world, it ranked number 5 in the whole world. So I'm excited to be in California. At the same time, I'm excited to be understanding that we're barely tapping 1% of the population in terms of what we do. But this picture got me excited here. If you really understand our business, you see this? Between the age of 0 to 4 is 3.1% of the population is in this age. 5 to 9, 3.2, and so on and so forth. The left side is a male, the right side is a female. But you can see that it's very equivalent. of about roughly 3% all the way up to about almost 70 years old. So what does that tell you? The market is in alignment with exactly what we can do, because what we do is very important for all subset of markets. We can take care of the young to the old, male and female alike, because we all have the same similar need in terms of financial service. And when I saw this, I got excited. And if you understand that that's 330 million people, and it's spread out evenly, there is something that we can do at every single segment equally. Does that make sense to you guys? And so far, I'm excited about this thing. Now, let's just break it down a little bit. If you look at the baby boomers alone, between 1946 to 1964, the first group of people that born, you add 65 years to it, it equal to 2011. And if you add 65 years to 1964, it becomes 2029. If you only service on one subset of the population, you call that the window of opportunity number 1, which is 18 years long. You guys see that? 2029 minus 2011, that's 18 years. That is a window of opportunity. Today we are at 2018, so we have another about 11 more years left. Does it make sense? Just to service the baby boomers alone. But that is what I call the window of opportunity number 1. If you do the same for Generation X, you do the same thing for Generation Y, which is a millennial, you have 3 window of opportunity. And I believe that, basically by 2046, I imagine that I'm still here. But, I'm still alive at that time. Only 30 years from now, I'll probably be 70. But I'm not going to stop WFG, so I can do this thing. But you got to understand there's an overlap. The previous pictures are the 3%. So you understand this, you got to see this, okay? This is, by the way, this is just the definition of the what is the millennial, Generation X, boomer, silent generation, and greatest generation, and so on and so forth. But you got to see this, okay? So now, let's look at a little analysis and research here. And as I research it a little more, I look at the market at 2016. The boomers have 76 million population, as I previously showed you. So that is people between the age of 52 and 70 years old. The Generation X has 55 million. During the same time in 2016, you have 36 age and then to 51 years old. The millennial is between the age of 20 and 35, and there are 62 millions of them, okay? The US population is 330 million population, but we are barely servicing 1% of the population, as I told you, in terms of the Canada in comparison and what they have done, barely tapping the market, and yet Raja Dalawa as an example of a subset, and that's why, and I'm excited for that thing. And as I saw one of the old slides that Penny has prepared in terms of the next Indian market and why we should doing that, and she did that for the more like in California and in different counties and so on and so forth. And when I see that, I start to research more, and that's how I tumble upon this kind of things and seeing the bigger bucket that we can potentially do. So to summarize it up for this one slide, we barely tapping 1% of the population. So that is why WFG is growing at such a fast pace. And at the same time, you got to understand, and all of us, if you do TFA training, you know that by 2022, we as an industry will be short of a 200,000 financial advisor, because the majority of the financial advisor right now is white, old, male. And they are baby boomers themselves. By the time that they are retiring, they boomer themselves, that's where there's a big hole. And we as a company actually can fulfill that hole. And not many other companies can do that. We're the one who's growing, and every other financial firms out there is decreasing because of the baby boomers, they retiring themselves as a financial advisor. I want to point out something to you guys. You got to see the overlapping segment of these 3 groups here, which are equivalent to 330 million populations. And I want you to get excited about recruiting and building your business right now. I don't care how good you are, you cannot be great, because at the end of the day, you have 2 hands, 1 head, and 24 hours. You cannot do big things by yourself. This is why we recruit, and WFG allow people to recruit. And WFG give me a chance to recruit people like myself, people who are not in the financial industry, and yet get a chance to get recruited and convert themselves to do something good for families. And on top of it, we don't discriminate from the people who don't have money versus people who have money. And then on top of it, we actually give people a chance, a choices for them to learn how to do their own finances. And so that is an exciting opportunity if you see what I'm seeing. I want to show you guys something. This is the whole premise of why I get excited. And I make a jokes about these things. But this picture is a projection of the population by generation starting in 2016. This is what got me really, really excited. If you see this, I'm pointing at the yellow. And if you look at the millennials from the time 2016 to 2036, and I want you to get something. I want to take credit for drawing these 4 lines with you, okay? Line number 1 is a red line. Line number 2, line number 3, line number 4. I'm just pointing out something that you can see there's an overlapping of the 3 generations. I box it out. Next time, if anybody asks, you heard it from Minh, okay? 2016 to 2036. That is 20 years in the making. And we are just hitting 2018 only. So we still have a lot of time left until 2036 at least. But what am I saying to you? You see this 76 million people, 55 million people, 62 million people? Almost all the population fall into these categories. There is a silent, they are out of the picture, we don't worry about them. But you know what? The boomers right here, and the boomers are moving, shaking up the business and the financial industry and everything else in between, right? But on top of it, you have the millennials, and on top of it, you have the Generation X. So you got to see the big pictures of all this 3 groups doing it together. So I want you to understand there's an overlapping and understand the window of opportunity is open for you from 2016 to 2036. That is 20 years. Right now, it's 2018, so we literally have another 18 years left for us to make sure that we do the right things and do the things that we are doing, and we do it well. But I want to point it out to you guys again. You cannot do this by yourself. Would you agree with me? There's no way in heck that we're going to service more people by having 24 hours in a day and 2 hands and 1 head. We need to have a team. We need to build more and bigger. Is that right? So this picture, keep this in mind, okay? So, I mean, I don't want to labor the point too much, but I told you guys, this is only going to take me about 20, 30 minutes. But if there's a discussion, we can talk more about this stuff. But the choice is yours. If you saw these things and you do nothing, then you're one of those people that, you don't care for it, then you're one of the 3. I don't know what happened, so therefore I don't care. Or the kind that said, I wonder what happened. But after today, you can't say that I don't know what happened, because I told you what will happen. It is up to you to do something about it. So there are 3 kind of people. I wonder what happened, I make it happen, or I don't know what happened. You cannot say that you don't know what happened anymore. But you know what? You don't care for it, then that's okay. But then it's up to you. But I wish that you're one of those guys or one of those person that decide to make something happen for your family, for your team, and for your whole generation to come. Many generations will change if you were to do this correctly. And we have the tools, we have everything in place already. So it is your choice. Now, this is not new for you guys. And if some of you guys already seen this, and we happen to be at the right time and the right industry, if you don't do anything, then it is your choice. But look, there are 3 biggest industry in the United States. And let's see which one of them. The retail is $22 trillion industry, which is humongous, right? And the next one is a real estate industry, which is 25 trillion. The financial industry is 82 trillion. I'm talking about 3-4 times more. And it's warping the real estate and the retail industry together. So why would you not want to learn how to get into the industry that is not only the timing that serves 3 major segments of the group, and not only this 3 segment of the group has the same percentage in terms of 3%, 3% from 0 ages up to 70-something years old ages, and look into this industry as what we can provide. So, if you were to follow me a little bit here, if you would agree with me that these people have the same kind of need. If you are young, between 0 to 70, you definitely need to learn how to do investment. Would you guys agree? Everyone needs to know how to do some investment. The next one is every one of us need to know how to save. Save for your kid college education, save for your retirement college education, save for your long-term care, save for whatever. You need that need. And as you're getting older, you need to plan for your kid college education. As Tina and I right now, we have to plan for our kid to go to college because we're the X generation. So we need that. So we just need to go out and help more people. And as I have kids and I get married, I have kids, and I have to plan for the future, I need life insurance. And then after that, when I become wealthy, when I start making money, and I need to strategize to reduce my tax, right? And this may sound like a brag, but then at the same time, I want to tell you that what WFG actually have been able to kind of do for my family. Before I do WFG, I make decent income from what I know. In terms of the hospital, they pay me roughly about $200,000. So every year, I have to pay back about $70,000 through the W2 income. as a tax back to Uncle Sam, right? But then for the business, based on bonus and extra incomes and then the Hawaii trips and everything else. So the company last year add on to my income from WFG alone is about a little over 700,000. Honestly, to you guys, I'm not naive that 700,000 is a lot of money. But then at the same time, I'm very frustrated that I'm only doing 700,000. The reason is because now I see the opportunity, what we can do here. And Penny, just to let you know, you last talk, and then I read through some of these emails that Penny and Ben sent to me. And one of the things that, I don't know, Penny, you remember, but you sent an email. You said that, you know what, Penny hasn't coached anybody for the last 19 years or whatever. In 2013, he sent an email to Penny, to Tina and I, telling us that, you know, we should get assistant help, and then, you know, plan to go full time, and then painting us a picture that, you know, now you make more than 100,000. The next year you make a 250, and so on and so forth, over 500, and on the way to make $1 million. And he compared with Mariana's and all of that stuff. I don't know if you remember that, Penny, but I had that email. And I read through it last night at 4 o'clock, and that was a good reminder. And Penny, honestly, and I looked through that thing, and I can forward you that emails again. If you look back in 2013, you see what I'm talking about. And Ben, he painted the pictures, and everything is true. And, you know, they believe in us, and then, you know what, and they said, you're going to make more than $500,000, and then $1 million, on and on and on, all of that stuff. And now I start to see it and understand it, and I get excited over this stuff. Back to my tax reduction strategies. I make over 700,000, and I'm frustrated. Can you imagine? What a snob, right? But the reality is, I'm not here to make 700,000. And Penny always tell me, hey, you quit your job for, like, you know, 200,000. You can make 2 million, and so on and so forth, right? Last year, I made more money on top of the WFG because I came to the Blessings and talk about real estate investment. Last year, I actually flipped 2 houses. And the 2 houses gave me about over 500,000 on the real estate investment side. But when I did my tax for the real estate side, I have to give back Uncle Sam 280,000 roughly, 280,000. So I made a jokes about it. I go, man, I have a partner. It was a silent partner, which is Uncle Sam, and he did not give me any money. He did not put any money, and yet I have to give back a half of my gain. On WFG side, I make over 700,000 after the tax all said and done and all the write-off and everything. Take a wild guess how much I pay. Wild guess. Anyways, so in your mind, you would guess maybe 100,000, 50,000, whatever. At the end of my tax all said and done, I pay about 17,000 in tax. You ask me, how is it possible? The reality is, you know, this is a 1099, and we have a lot of tax write-off, and then actually we strategize it correctly. And so we learn from the investment strategies and what is a way to reduce your tax and all of that stuff. So we institute a tax defer, and we do the defined benefit and so on and so forth. So all of that works out. All of that is legit and legal. Okay? So the education alone has saved my family so much money, but then the opportunity at the WFG is as astronomically. All right? And of course, I talk about retirement planning, and now we have people that plan for retirement. They need our services at the same time. And then and you're getting older, you need long-term care. And I do not know, and I said this at the Pleasanton, I do not know that the FFIUL add on the long-term care feature in 2011 by accident or by coincidence or by planning. Because 2011 was the first phase of the baby boomer retiring at age 65, you remember? And that was the year I remember distinctly, like 2011, 2012, it add on the long-term care rider for the feature. And maybe they know something and they plan ahead, and that's why FFIUL become a very popular product with the long-term care features to cater to the baby boomers alone. So the point is, I talk about all of this stuff, and then when they're getting older, they need lifetime income. So you need to talk about annuities. Don't you see that we do all of this stuff, you guys? For those of you guys on the conference call, you know what I'm talking about. We do all of this stuff. We do every single one of this stuff. And yet, the percentage is 3% of the population, 3% of the population all need this thing. We can do all of them. So what does that mean? We can capture all 100% of the population if we know how to do that correctly. So I hope you see a bigger picture. You see that? Now, let's take this a bit slower on the side and talk something for fun on the side. So I kind of like change the subject a little bit. let's switch back to the normal kind of conversation I always talk about. You know, the thing that, you know, what inspire you and, you know, what you see the picture ahead and all of this stuff. I learned something back in the college years, back as an undergrad school. I learned about the Indian and the Indian philosophy, something that teach me about the 8 clicks of life. And to combine together what my mom teaches me. She said, you know, in our life, every time you blink your eyes, it's 10 years. It's very fast. It's 10 years. So you got to be careful of how you spend your time and what is significant for you to decide to do. You know, this first click of life is like this. When you are 0 to 5 years old, you should be a child that, you know, you have the best childhood. So when you are young, you know, like I make fun of different people. You know, when we're young, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be the doctor. I want to be a veterinary. I want to be the president and so on and so forth. We want to be anything, everything. It doesn't have to be logical. But then you got to know how to get back into that childhood dreams again. We got to know how to dream once again. So then you can be excited and feel something that you want to do in your life. And you have no restriction. Nothing can stop you. We need to get back into our childhood and dreams once again, like the time that when we're less than 5 years old and 6 years old. The second click of life is between the age of 1 to 15. You want to be the best son and the best daughter, and you want to learn the best value that you can do and provide. And so we as a parent, we got to teach our kids to have the best value, to be kind to people, to be happy, to be good to people, and to be confident and all of that stuff. And make sure you take care of people and so on and so forth, right? So that is a second click of life. The third click of life is that we want to be the best student that can be. I personally graduate pharmacy school at the age of 25. And when I graduate age of 25, I'm not like the best student, but I'm a very decent student. I do good in school and I learn I spend my time and I learning, right? And then after that, between the age of 25 to 35, you want to go out there and get your butt kicked around a little bit, work for somebody, and understand that, you know what, be the best employees and learn how to follow. And I talk about, you know, when you follow somebody, doesn't mean that you are a follower. You learn how to be a good student so you can learn. In order for you to learn how to lead, you have to learn how to follow first. But when you follow, some people follow blindly, but I don't want you to follow blindly. I want to follow you as a student. Open your eyes and learn and follow. And I said, you know what, if Penny allow me to stand on her shoulder so I can see farther because she's been there before, she done that before, you like it or not, she might not understand, but you know what, she allowed you to stand on the shoulder. And we said, you know what, allow you to stand on the shoulder of a giant so you can see farther. Then you want to follow and see something more. And that is a time that you want to be the best worker and the best employee so you can learn. The next click of life is you should be the best husband and the best wife in marriage. I got married when I was 31 years old. And so based on that, I learned how to be the best human being. And I talk about the stories about, you know, in one of the ancient Greek back in the Greek ancient time, if you want to be the judge, the 2 requirements for you to be a judge is that you got to be married, and the second one is you got to have kids. Because if you've never been married, you never have kids, you don't know how to deal with people. You don't know how to be the judge of the characters. And so by being a husband and wife, because, I mean, it's something that bothers you right now before you marry that person, I promise you that same thing will bother you 10 times more. So because, you know, when you are dating that person, you're going to feel like, you know what, you're going to let that go. And you know what, somehow that is still cute and whatnot. But the minute that you marry that person, it's no more cute. It get irritating. So that's why you gotta learn how to handle each other into the most, you know, intimate way, I guess. And the next click of life is 45 to 55. You want to be the best contributor to the local where you live. I guess to the community that you live immediately. And the next one, 55 to 65, you want to be the best contributor globally. That's what like Penny's doing right now. She traveled the world. She do charities in different countries. And, you know, like Jeff Levitan, what they doing? I mean, they open orphanage places and what Teresa Tang Wang and Connie and Penny team up together to do in China. Those are the things that we should be able to have at least the ability to do. And the last one is that you want to, above 65, you want to be the best teacher possible. And you're going to give back and educate the younger generation. You want to teach them how is the way to give back and then give it back to the next generation. Does that make sense? So that I just wanted to share. And so every 10 years, we got to do something significant. And you got to check yourself to see where you're at on this 8 clicks of life and decide that whether you need to improve upon, and whether you need to build upon. This doesn't mean that every 5-10 years you do that things only. You're supposed to build on each other and be and have a foundation on top of one another. Yes? All right. So to summarize it up, and I'm almost done here. To summarize it up, from the view, I said there's a lower view and there's a higher view. They call the ground view and the flying view. The ground level is where you have to do the doing for the grind. So let me bring it back to you. I mean, we can talk about all of this stuff. We can give you all this vision and what you see and whatnot. But then you know what? At the end of the day, you go to the classroom and we talk. All it is just talk. And so we don't know how to do anything. So by just talking alone, nothing will change. Does that make sense? So you got to actually do something. And so in my organization right now, I have something I call it a 1, 2, 3 and ABC. 1, 2, 3 meaning you got to go out there, invite people. You got to go out there, recruit people. You got to go out there to do a sales presentation to them. ABC is always be closing. So I'm constantly talking to all of my teammates about closing is helping. Closing is building. And I recently come across an opportunity that I think that, you know, is unfortunate, but it helped me see things further and clearer. In the last almost 7-8 years that I'm doing this business, nobody ever got hurt on me from the things that I've done in terms of the policy. Nobody had died on me yet and all of that stuff. So I don't really feel and understand all of that yet. But one of my teammates, he was 62 years old, and he bought a policy from me, and he paid about $1,700 a month. He was 62 years old, and he bought $500,000. And just about last month, he traveled over to Chicago to visit his son where he got to graduate college. All of a sudden, that, you know, he got a stroke, and that stroke landed him in the hospital, and he ended up being in a coma. And right now, he's still in a coma. This was just a few weeks ago. And so the family member called me and say, hey, I know that he was with your firm. What kind of planning did you do anything to help him? And so luckily, he have an FFIUL, and he has a long-term care, and he has terminal illness and everything else. So I evaluate his policies, and total he put in there so far was about $47,000. And then his surrender values right now is about 30-something thousand. And so in a way, he put in $17,000 in exchange for $530,000. I think it's a great deal. But it's not about the money that can bring his state of mind back or anything else. But at the end of the day, it gives a peace of mind for the family. So that the family thank me and appreciate me for the work that I do. And I feel very appreciative. And I actually, when it hit the road, and I feel like, you know, I made a difference in this family life, because they were very worried that what if he go into long-term care? Where would the money be and all of that stuff? But now they have this policy in the hand, and they feel like, you know, at ease, at least for the given the situation. So I felt like I did some good on that. And so because of that, I said, you know, ABC, always be closing. Before, I always hesitate because I feel like I'm making money on my friends and I'm selling something. I don't see the aspects of, man, I'm helping you. But then now, I see that now. So I'm not going to hesitate as much. I mean, I haven't hesitated for a while, but now I can actually, it hit me a little more impact me more personal level, right? And at the same time, some of the teammates, if I recruit them, I give them an opportunity to join me to build to do something great for the 3 generation that many people need. And we're barely tapping 1%, you guys. So we definitely need to go out there and recruit more people, and don't hesitate to show them what we can do. The thing that, you know, all the clicks of life that we talked about and all the things that we service, we do all of them. And the beauty about this thing is the segment has 3% throughout from 0 to about 70-something years old. We can serve all of them because we do all of those financial service products. So that is what we're talking about. But now all that talk, all this vision is great, but you got to go out and do it. You got to do something, right? You got to go through the objection. You got to go through the rejection. It's normal. If you don't go through it, you won't grow. You understand that we do financial service and products for everyone. And at the same time, you got to do the selling and recruiting. And you got to do the 1, 2, 3 and ABC. And that become a song for my group. I go, hey, let's go out to the field and 1, 2, 3 and ABC. 1, 2, 3 and ABC, right? Make it into a song. And I say, you know what? I hope that it catch on. Because, I mean, I brought up Donald Trump, and I know some of you guys, I mean, he's a controversial figure, right? But you can't deny the fact that the thing he say is stick to your mind. Because he make it so simple, and he make it so that's easy for you to understand. And we know that simplify to multiply and say this thing. So I hope that by saying 1, 2, 3, ABC is the same thing as fake news and crooked Hillary and whatever. So it's stuck to your brain. Does that make sense? So I hope that for us as a business, let's 1, 2, 3 and let's ABC. 1, 2, 3 meaning what? Go out, invite people, go out, recruit people, go out, sell to them. Always be closing. Closing is helping, closing is building. Okay? So I have a whole different kind of talk for 1, 2, 3 and ABC. But today I just want to share this with you very quickly. And the next thing in my team is I say daily 3. Do you do your daily 3 yet? The daily 3 meaning do 3 appointments, sitting down with somebody across the table. Focus on getting 3 appointments per day so that you can actually talk about our business. And you cannot control the result, but you can control the activities. At the minimum, have at least 3 people you try to talk to every day if you're part-time or full-time. But at least sit down with somebody to go over the three things that we talked about. And of course, we try to achieve 1 point per day. And we know that sometimes there's no activity, no result, but keep the same consistency in terms of your mindset and continue to grow, okay? Now, let's look at the sky level. The grind level is what we need to do. We understand that. There's no stopping there. But the sky level, if you want to fly high, you got to understand that what we're doing is we're building franchise. We are the franchise building model. We cannot do this by ourselves. You are one McDonald's, you sell 1,000 hamburgers, you want to sell 2,000 hamburgers, you need 2 franchises. I mean, you need 2 SMD, you need 3 SMD, 4 SMD, so on and so forth. If you want to override, the override is sweet, but you don't build any franchise, you don't build any leader, there's nothing to override. And then the new word is franchising. Franchising is the example, like, franchise is an SMD, franchise is you building an office that have many SMD underneath, okay? And our business is a leadership and mentoring program. And I get mentoring by Penny, and we build our leadership to the next generation. So, to be in alignment with Penny, Penny is a dream builder, right? So when I think about the team, when I become a CEO team, and very soon, Mo and Pam are going to be a CEO team, and Michelle and many of us, and we want to stay in alignment with a dream builder in order for us to build more dreams and help more people to achieve their dreams. And we are the dream builders. So for me, I was thinking, you know what? How do I align with the dream builders? How do I build more dreams? How do I help people to achieve their dreams? And then I remember the movie that they call The Field of Dreams. You build it, they will come. You remember that movie? The movie that they said, The Field of Dreams, the baseball field. The more you build, the more they come. And so I believe in building more leaders, so the leader will impact more people, the more people will achieve more of their dreams. And because they achieve their dream, they will tell more people to achieve their dream by leading from the front and care from the back. And that's why I came up with the Leader Builders team. And that is why to stay in alignment with the dream builders. And that's how the LB becomes a brand that I'm building in the last few years. So leadership and mentoring is what I see. And for us to do more of that, our whole team will grow. And at the end of the day, we're building family here, right? And of course, we're building distribution channel. What do I mean by that? If you think of it in the high-tech term, we're building company and eventually we bring them to IPO until they can go become their own company. And then when they become own company, meaning they become their own SMD and become EMD, become EVC and CEO and all of that stuff. So we can expand and build more distribution channel to increase more than 1% of the population, you guys. And then after that, you can truly live a lifestyle of freedom. You live with your family and you're helping family to change their life through financial planning. And then you feel good because you have a team and then you grow from there. And that to me, you can live at the sky, you got to go to the ground first. Okay. And that is the view. Okay. Next things. I'm closing down here. It's the right time. Check. The right company? Check. The right products? Check. The question to you is, are you the right person today? I mean, I talk to you, I hope that you decide that you're the right person, right? But let's look. The timing, as you recall this picture, it is the timing that is generation of the 3 people. Is the timing. It's definitely the right time. The next one is our company. We have the system, we have the technology, we have the marketing, we have the leadership, we have the training, and we have many franchise opportunity. So it is the right company for us to do. And so the next one is it the right products? We have access to over 200 companies out there. We can do insurance, we can do 401k retirement, we can do net law, we can do boat, we can do Everest, we can do active money management, and so on and so forth. And we are World Financial Group that we can do every single one of these guys. Are you guys seeing this? And this one slide is a summary for you to see what I'm talking about. And this is not new for you guys, but it's a good reminder, right? Uber is the world's largest taxi company owned no vehicle. Facebook is the world's most popular media owner that create no contents. Alibaba is the most valuable retailer that has no inventory. Airbnb is the world's largest accommodation provider that owns no real estate. World Financial Group is the world's largest financial service distributor that owns no financial products. Isn't it something that's interesting that's about to happening here? Are you either on the boat or off the boat, or at least know that it exists, so get on it. Does that make sense? So the last question I ask you is, are you the right person? You're going to make a decision today. you got to make the decision. Are you just going to go for a test drive and test out this opportunity and do it as a part-time sometimes or whatever time? Or you decide to get involved. And the magnitude of your involvement, it is up to you. But then at the same time, if you decide to put more time in, you want to submerge it, jump into the pool. Don't just put your toe in the pool. Because you know you feel out the water is cold, you might just go out. I advise you to just jump in and get wet and then submerge yourself. And then maybe you decide to go full force. Maybe you can do part-time but full-time mentality. But then you can do full force and you go full-time. And then if you happen to be the right person, then you will see this opportunity. And I'm not forgetting the ladies out there. Here's the ladies. There's the males and females together. And somebody had an objection, say, how come she's smaller than him? Well, you know what? Because I don't want she to cover him. But at the time, hey, do this as a couple. If you're the couple, if you're Pam and Mo, if you're Min and Tina, if you're Penny and Ben, then you know what? Do it as a couple. Doesn't matter who's bigger than who, as long as you're together and do it together. Okay? So this is an opportunity, and I'm excited about these things. And that is what I want to share with you guys. Pam or Penny, back to you. And Holly, stop eating that thing.
Okay, can
Stop
you
chewing. I can see Holly's eating something and not sharing the food, Penny.
I know. She. Hey, any question? If you have any question, you can text it. You can text it on the thing. If not, anything, I'm excited, right? So it's very interesting. Send me the email I sent to you. See, I am the fortune teller.
You are. And you know what? Actually, I can pull the email right now if you want me to, just for fun. But anyway, if you want to use it as a training topic, I actually talked to my teammate.
I would like to know what I read to you.
Nothing bad, Penny. All the good stuff.
Can you pull up from your computer?
Yes, I can. You want to see it?
Yes.
We got time?
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and then we can let everybody read the email. I wrote I used to stay up to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock to write you.
Yep.
You are very hard to build, Min.
Very hard to build?
Like coaching, you know.
Let me stop sharing real quick and hold on. Let me get to the email. Oh, okay. I gave you guys a bad view of me. Okay, hold on. Let me close this one first.
I'm gonna charge you the way that at my lecture.
Okay. Okay. So Penny, do you see this? Do you remember this?
When is it? 2000?
2013.
Okay.
You see this?
Yeah. This
And
is
Ben wrote this to me in 22 a.m. Catch 22. I want you guys to see this. And you know what? Last night when I didn't go back to sleep. And you know what? This was very special, Penny. And honestly, I want to share with you guys this. And this is the testimonial of our leaders and both husband and wife, Penny and Ben, doing this for me, and I appreciate it. And you know,
read the whole thing.
I will.
It's a long email, huh? It's a long email.
It's a long email, but let me find Penny email first. Okay, this is Penny email. Dear Min, I do want to congratulate you and Tina. Actually, you know, Penny, this grammar is pretty good. I don't know if anybody proofread your things, but it sounds normal. Doesn't sound like you.
2 o'clock. Nobody write the email for me at 2 o'clock.
So she wrote it to me on the following day at 12:26. I do want to congratulate you and Tina for receiving Ben coaching emails. It has not. This is sound like you. It has not never happened for the last 19 years in our business. Either you and Tina have so much potential, or Ben is starting to show his building potential now. You remember this?
Yeah.
If you remember what I told you many months ago, every now and then, this is from Pat Riley, and she gave me this book to read. Every now and then, somewhere, someplace, sometime, you are going to plant your feet, stand firm, and make a point about who you are and what you believe in. When that time comes, you simply have to do it. This is Lee Riley. Talk to Pat Riley, his son. So every transition of growth in this company is a decision, and also usually it is a serious decision. I remember when I became full-time and Ben became full-time, looking back, it was kind of scary. But it turned out to be the best decision that we make. Team building is not only work hard and inspiration, it is what you truly believe in and execute through the action. I really think Ben is amazing. When I was worrying how you not having assistant will end up like Mariana's team, he sees something further. talk about it to each other, about our suggestions. Let us know what you need, if you need any more coaching. So Benny, Ben does talk a little about Mariana. It's nothing bad. You think it's okay for to read it to the team?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, it's a long time ago, but this is Ben, and he and I, you know, Ben. He, I mean, I appreciate the love and you know these things, and so you know, Ben said this. Dear Min and Tina, this is my version of a midnight coaching, and he did write it at 2 in the morning, though. Okay, I'm writing this email to congratulate both of you. We are so excited to see how you and your WFG business has grown to the current level at such a short period of time. Looking at your last 3 months average more than 15,000 after 2 years in the business. We know the future is so bright for you and your team. We were talking to Min and Tuan last Thursday at our house on how excited we are for both of you. And you are the success story of the hierarchy and giving Min and Tuan another such a good model to follow. However, with the quick growth of your team, there's also some concern that comes with it. We see a lot of similarity between your team back in 2008. The team was recruiting and expanding to Elk Grove. They opened an office in Elk Grove. They earned the 100,000 ring. They qualified for Hawaii. Was under a lot of pressure at work, but we could not convince her to let Min become full-time in the WFG because she is very conservative. And then they failed to capture the momentum and also committed to a major mistakes in the business. Being a housewife and a preschool teacher, she failed to run this like a business. She held a meetings one day to announce to the whole team that they are not hiring an assistant, and the agent had to process their own paperwork. You know the WFG model allow SMD to run their own business the way they want to run it. And being a big, stubborn R personality, she insists running the business her own way, and eventually the whole team collapsed. We keep joking about getting Tina fired from her job, but we are not joking. Penny are very conservative and worried when a team member come to her and talk to her about becoming full-time in WFG. Most of the time it's because they hate their job, not because they have a team and they are really to move to the next level in the business. And you know what, Penny? This is very true. I hope that not people are doing this kind of things. Because don't do it because you hate your job. However, it is totally different case for you and Tina. You guys need to go full-time. One of you, and naturally Tina will be the one to go full-time and capture the momentum. And you guys know that at the time I make double what Tina makes, and that's why I've been giving that suggestions. Here's why. You were from a base shop, so you know how we run our business. Our business model is to never let the new part-time agent process their own paperwork. We tend to spoil our base shop for a good reason. The part-timer don't have time and cannot process their own paperwork, their team paperwork. Your team is really growing fast. We're starting to see the slipping in the support. Lucy can only help you process the paperwork, but there is a lot of follow-up and support after that. And if you don't have a full-time assistant, I cannot think of a better person to run your business than Tina herself. Number 2, we handle everything and have a record for every AMA and application so Lucy can follow up. Some of the older team members from the base shop who follow you after you become SMD would naturally compare when they don't have the same support. You will face a resentment. That is not good for your business in the long run. In fact, it does not take long for them to just quit and forget about this deal, especially if they have not bring in money. Number 3, monkey see, monkey do, and they do it better. Now your downline who become SMD would copy and do the same thing. Tina will be the best choice to be full-time now. You can give the best support to the team during the day and give the best love and time to the kids and family during the rest of the day or whenever it is needed. And the time is so flexible for everything else. Your boss cannot stop you from walking away from your job. This is your business that is more important than your job. This business will bring you financial independence, take you and your family to Hawaii, Europe. And I want to tell you guys, I have been to Hawaii 7 times. And I've been to Hawaii, Europe 3 times already. So all of this was true. At that time, I did not go, I went to Hawaii, but I did not go to Europe or anything yet. Number 5, we talked about if one keep doing the same thing over and over, it is not going to see a different result. Now that you have reached the 100,000 income here, we can comfortably see this as Tina income replacement. But we are not stopping here. We can envision your WFG income to hit 200 to 50 by the end of the year. And it did. Can you see Tina making 200,000 at her job by the end of this year or even in 5 years? Of course not. When you have an employee, you can't do that. And we are not stopping at 250 either. We can see your income to go to $500,000. And you know, it did for me. In 2 years after that, when Tina become full-time, so Min, you can be full-time and bring home $1 million income per year in the next 5 years. We can see this possibility in WFG. Can you see this in your job? And he make a comparison, and that's very fair. And he project all of this, and it's come true for all along. My next thing is I got to do this. And honestly, I can see that's happening very soon, Penny.
Yeah. You should hit $1 million before next year convention.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. We are so excited for both of you, and we know you can be so big in this business. You need to make the necessary change. We are not forcing you to become full-time. we are encouraging you to take full charge of your business, capture the momentum, and bring it to the next level. Thank you, and love, Ben. I love that stuff, man. You guys see this? Man, I'm telling you, this thing is real. And you know what? Everything they said happened to me. And 5 years later, I mean, one night I woke up and I could not go to sleep for some reason. Maybe the universe is talking to me. I woke up and I looked through the email of the coaching of my mentor, and I found these emails, and I'm forever grateful, Penny. And that's what I see. And I want to tell you guys, whoever's on the line, man, today I'm sharing something good. Only 49 of you guys. That sucks. But at least you saw the timing, and what I saw now is even bigger than what Ben had told me to be true. And thank you, Penny and Ben. And let him know that I love him too.
Yeah. He's a man with very few words. You know, this is what I'm excited. This is what I'm excited. Whole hierarchy right now. I want to close with this. I know that we're almost 9 o'clock, and then I know that I know that it is great. I'd like you to share that into maybe that I can ask Alina. So you're gonna do a lot of coaching for hierarchy rather than you wait. You know that we are going to bring. You are in this. You are out of town, right? You know, it's very interesting that when the call was started, we had about 60 people. And then people just drop off. Well, for many good reasons. You know, people do not become successful for a very good reason. And then it's just life. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing we can do about that. And then, you know, I think that the best part is actually I like the 8-click of the I especially like the 8-click of the 8-click of the live. You know, it's so true. I told them in a pleasant, I said that I play a video about Anton and also Shirley's son, and then after convention, they know that the parents going to make $1 million, going to become SMD. And the kid believe it full-heartedly. And yet our people doesn't believe it anymore, right? But this is why that we get paid what we get paid today. You got to be able to paint the picture. You got to instill the belief. And I appreciate Minh. And it is very tough at the beginning. They have many reasons not to believe it yet because they haven't seen it yet, right? So for you right now, I think it's very important right now that, like, for example, you as a SMD, and also you are the out-of-town people, and you know that Anika have a great sharing. I don't know whether mean that you we record it the way I record today. I'm going to do this recording actually that sent to all the SMD to take a look. And then I don't know whether you record Anika sharing yesterday with your base shop. I think what is the best. And it's not so much about me. You know that if the business had to be me, then the business is not running, right? The business, because the system is very good. I was talking to somebody, I said that when you run a system, we are entrepreneur, but yet we are not entrepreneur. There's a code of honor we have to follow. There's a teamwork culture we're going to do. I appreciate Minh for being able to bring the team together, and then also who understand at the higher level that you cannot do this by yourself. You have to be able to give, and then you can take, you know, this kind of stuff. So I'm excited. And then also, we have a T25, we have T30, and right now I look at the number, recruiting number is searching right now, and I'm excited. Like, for example, we have a council group. We have this for good reason. Like, for example, you know that we are taking the council, 25 of them going to see Rich Stolley at Pepper Beach. We're going to stay in one day in Pepper Beach because that we're going to have a meeting with him at his home at 17 Mile at Pebble Beach. And you know, and Rich Stolley is still very involved. Monty Home, we're going to bring some people going to Monty Home in October. And you know that the contest finished in August. You have another 5-4 days to finish it. And we have this opportunity that we cannot have everybody to go there. You know that, right? But you got to be able to make sure, make your best. If you're not at that level yet, then you go into the elite circle. That's why you search. And then decided I was want to let you know that one of the things that I learned from my coach, and also I say 10 is when magic happen, 100 is when dream come true, right? If we know the timing, if Minh show articulate the message very well about how the market is, we are 3 generations overlap, the market is so huge. Please do not go and sell by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Because there's so much you can do by selling by yourself. You got to be able to build the distribution, but your distribution cannot be built if you don't understand recruiting, right? And the reason Raja don't have it doesn't even have to go into the good market. Raja go into the middle and lower middle market, but they have many of them. right? And trust me, when you have many of them one day, that this mass market is going to do some good market. So we understand that we can handle the good market, but if we don't understand about recruiting, and we will lose it, we will totally lose it. You know what I'm saying? Some big cases here and then bring you very good income instantly, but you know it's not permanent. You know it's going to be very big. You know you cannot help people in a very big way. So you are in here from August, October, September, October, and November. You got to go into the recruiting pace. You got to bring your people and go to the elite circle. That's all you need to do. And you and I know also that 10 is when magic happen, 100 when a dream come true, right? So that you got to make sure that you become BBC 10. You make sure you apply for the system, right? Hey, I appreciate you. Great job, Min. I want to let you know that dream do come true. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great email by my guy. My husband is very good. And you know we're gonna have a one spouses meeting in September 9 in the city in the Northern California. Let me tell you the secret, right? If you are those in Texas, you know what Lena does? You know what Lena does? Lena this time bring everybody from Texas to come to California. I'm not suggesting you to do that. I'm not suggesting to do that, but she's very good. The reason why she can make $500,000, you know that the meeting can bring people. When they travel, they bring more people. But if you are local, if you cannot go into elite circle, you know that you're losing the big time. Just like people can dial in at the beginning, but they have good reason to drop at the 9 o'clock. And then all the good stuff that he shared at the end or whatever, they may not be able to listen to the whole thing. This is life, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, we love everybody, and we are looking for a good one, and we are looking for people who's ready. And no matter what happened in your life, you know that there's always good reason not to do well. There's always a good reason to do well, and you can choose whether that reason can actually let you go to the next level, or can use that reason for you not to do well, right? Timing can be good, but then you can wait. You know, I always believe that when the tide is very high, it lifts all the boat. I want to make sure that I will talk to my family. I will get my priorities straight. I will do everything I could to make sure I don't miss this opportunity. That's it. Thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. And let me see. I think that's it. Thank you very much. Awesome. Bye.
Okay. Good night, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Penny.
Bye, Penny.
Thank you.
Bye.
Penny, go hug Ben for me tonight, huh?
I will. Hey, send me the email. I like it. We can do a good training for that, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm actually gonna use that for one training too. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Penny. Okay.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Do it. I got my other phone.
What do I point the camera? Right.